hello guys, it's been a while. Okay, unzip this jacket. It's a little warm in here. And, I was reading Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and I had a few thoughts that I wanted to say. And I'm not saying at all that this is a bad book. I know that this character is supposed to be a bad person, but I have thoughts about it that I just want to address. My guinea pigs are drinking their water. That's the clicking sound you might be hearing. You might not, and I might just have very good hearing, and it might not be picked up on the recording, but still. Well, gotta move this closer. Okay, so let's get to the main bits and pieces I'm talking about. So, for those who haven't read Harry Potter in a while, or seen the movies, or haven't at all, Harry's living with his aunt and uncle, who will kind of psychologically abuse him and neglect him. That's never really brought to focus, but whatever. And in the third book and movie, his uncle's aunt comes to visit, and she is just as bad as them. Seriously. Let me just show you a few quotes. Hold on. Here it is. Chapter 2, page 24. "Where's that you sent him to again, Vernon?" said Aunt Marge. "St. Brutus," said Uncle Vernon promptly. "It's the first state institution for hopeless cases." "I see," said Aunt Marge. "Do you think the cane at Do they use the cane at St. Brutus's, boy?" She barked across the table. Uncle Vernon nodded curtly behind Aunt Marge's back. "Yes," said Harry. "All the time." "Excellent," said Aunt Marge. "I won't have this namby-pamby, wishy-washy nonsense about not hitting people who deserve it. Good thrashing is what's needed in 99 cases out of 100. Have you been beaten often?" Okay, that's not a good start. Now let's flash forward over to the next page, where she's talking about how Harry's turned out. When there's nothing wrong with Harry. Yeah, his hair is messy. Yeah, it might be skinny, but that's because they're starving him, basically. And because his parents, why? Why do you gotta treat the kid like that? It's just not his fault. And this is what the quote. "You mustn't blame yourself for the way the boys turned out, Vernon," she said over lunch on the third day of her stay. "If there's something rotten on the inside, there's nothing anyone can do about it." Harry tried to concentrate on his food, but his hands shook and his face was starting to burn with anger. Aunt Marge reached for her glass of wine. "It's one of the basic rules of breeding," she said. "You see it all the time with dogs. If there's something wrong with the bitch, then there'll be something wrong with the pup." Okay. So, Aunt Marge is basically telling Harry that his mom was... I don't need to repeat what she said because I don't like cursing on the internet because I'm a child. But that's kind of terrible. It makes her a terrible person. And she's drinking alcohol while she's saying this, and people who know me and my life know the person I'm thinking about. And, let me find the other quote I was looking for. Okay, so this one is very terrible, because I've been through a similar situation with this. Let me just say this real quickly. You do criticize a child based on their size and compare them to another? Do you want to screw them over when they're an adult? You're not helping them. You're just giving them self-esteem issues. Excuse me if this frustrates me. Okay, where was I? You'll be a proper-sized man, Dutters, like your father, yes. I'll have a spot more brandy, Vernon. If brandy's just like a type of wine, I think. Now, this one. Now this one here. She jerked her head at Harry, who felt his stomach clench. This one's got a mean, runty look about him. You get that with dogs. I had a colonial fubbuster drown one last year. Ratty little thing it was, weak underbred. Turn the page. It all comes down to the blood. As I was saying the other day, bad blood will out. I don't know what that means. Now, I'm saying nothing against your family, Petunia. She patted Petunia's bony hand with her shovel-like one. But your sister was a bad egg. They turn up in the best families. Then she ran off with a wastrel, and there's the result right in front of us. Harry was staring at his plate, a funny ringing in his ears. This Potter, said Aunt Marge loudly, seizing the brandy bottle and splashing more into her glass and over the tablecloth. You never told me what he did. He didn't work, said Uncle Vernon with a half glance at Harry. Unemployed. As I expected, said Aunt Marge, taking a huge swing of brandy and wiping her chin on her sleeve. A no account, good for nothing, lazy scoundrel who he was not, said Harry suddenly. Okay, and now it's Uncle Vernon saying this. You, boy, go to bed. Go on. No, Vernon, hiccuped Aunt Marge, holding up a hand, her tiny bloodshot eye fixed on Harry's. Go on, boy, go on. Proud of your parents, are you? They'll go and get themselves killed in a car crash. Drunk, I expect. They didn't die in a car crash, said Harry, who found himself on his feet. So, let me just lay this out in the simple version. So, she criticized him and compared him to his cousin, who was morbidly obese. And she called his mother a bitch. He said that his parents were probably drinking and driving. He called his father something, and calling him lazy, and all of that. Which, you could criticize a person, fine. But rule number one of being a decent human being is you do not talk crap about a person when they're dead and in front of their child. Even if they're not dead, in front of their child in general. Never do that. I hope it is apparent to all of you not to do that. But for those who don't know, don't. Do not criticize a child's parents in front of them. It's a thing to tell them the truth in a situation, but to just tell them your mother is a bitch, they were probably drunk when you died, all of that makes me want to smack Aunt Marge in the face with this book. How could someone... Actually, I know how someone can treat a child like this, but it astonishes me how possible it is for someone to treat a child like this. I'm gonna go. Goodbye. I'm leaving. I'm getting out of here. I'm not going to be mad anymore. Goodbye. That is my closet.